Rolling with the triple C, I'ma make him bend the knee. Rolling with the triple C, don't really count the heat.
So Paddy the Baddy versus Tony Ferguson has been announced. The biggest question for me is, is the UFC trying to get rid of Tony Ferguson, or are they trying to feed Tony Ferguson to Paddy the Baddy? Could Paddy the Baddy beat somebody like Tony Ferguson? Does he have that skill set? So I tell you what, guys, even though Tony Ferguson had that fight with Bobby Green, and even though he was submitted with Nate Diaz, does he still have that level of competition that he did before in the past? I think we could all agree that Tony Ferguson is not the same guy. Now, thinking about Paddy the Baddy, this is the thing that we got to think about, because right now it's, to all of us, it's still a hype train. Does he belong in that top 10? Is Paddy the Baddy that elite fighter that we all think he is? And the answer is no, but a win over Tony Ferguson, I mean, you can say, he would have a win over a former interim champ, but Tony Ferguson of the past is long gone. I think what the UFC's doing is they understand that maybe Tony Ferguson is the big name. They understand that it's a fight that's a winnable fight for Paddy the Baddy. I'm just trying to understand whether Paddy the Baddy loses to Tony Ferguson, does he lose a lot of that hype train, a lot of that vibe does he have against a guy like Tony Ferguson? Right now, if I was to break down the matchup, I think when it comes to durability and just willpower, I would give it to Tony Ferguson. When it comes down to youth and maybe just want and desire, you give it to a guy like Paddy the Baddy. But stylistically, this fight, it's a freestyle fight, because the way I see it, both of these guys are freestyle fighters. Call me crazy, but I think the UFC could probably shoot themselves in the foot on this one. I really do. I think Tony Ferguson's a way tougher matchup than what people actually think. Could Tony Ferguson take him down 100%? Could he keep him down? I believe so, 100%. So I'm not sure what the UFC's planning on kind of pulling here, because if Paddy the Baddy does end up losing, they lose one of their great white hopes. What is that's going to happen? Is Tony Ferguson the right answer, or do you continue to keep building a guy like Paddy the Baddy? What you got for me, Matthew?
So obviously this is Tony's lost 6 in a row. Paddy's won 6 in a row. So like you said, the UFC's, they kind of seems like they're trying to set up Paddy. But if Tony were to win somehow, do you think this could reignite his career and get him back into the top 15?
This could be a fight that could reignite his career. This really could. I didn't even see it that way. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. God, Lee, I had no idea Tony Ferguson is sick. He's lost his last 6 in a row. Oh, man, Tony, you're too good. But he's also, look at who he's actually lost to. Charles DeBronx, Bobby Green. A lot of these guys that Nate Diaz, a lot of these guys are just a tough threat for anybody. I mean, Tony is the man, though. I mean, Tony will fight. I mean, if there's one thing that he will kind of bring together is his ability of fighting and bringing that entertainment. I mean, will the UFC, if he loses this fight, will they end up cutting him? I mean, I want to say so, because I've done it with everybody in the past. But it also is Tony Ferguson. That would be 0-7 in his last 7 fights. I mean, I would say that Tony Ferguson would get cut, but I believe they're doing this for a reason of putting Paddy the Baddy here. So I think they're putting all their chips. But talk about a switcheroo if Paddy the Baddy is really get this done. These are harder fights to really analyze because they're freestyle fighters. What I mean by freestyle fighters, they just fight. Like, there's not necessarily a big threat that they have that's dangerous or anything of that matter. And I think right now the UFC probably knows a lot more than what we know. So if Paddy the Baddy does get it done, and he gets it done, I mean, it's to be said that he could get it done. Now, Tony Ferguson loses, will he have another job left in the UFC? This video is brought to you by the one and only Jimmy Bar, the gluten-free bar that is out in every Walmart store nationwide. So you guys make sure to get your damn Jimmy on. I'm out.